This is one of the biggest misconceptions I see in dating for men. It's the reason why men get friend zoned, why women will just start fights out of nowhere, why they might cheat on a guy and move on, or not even see them as a sexual option in the first place. And it's because men keep trying to make women feel comfortable. They don't want to feel comfortable. I'm gonna show you in this video what they want instead. So they start seeing you as emotional crack that they can't get enough of. I'm Marcus Wolf, an international dating and sex coach. And each week, I'm gonna go through some tips and strategies to make you the best version of yourself inside and outside the bedroom, so you can start getting the goals you really desire and deserve. All right, let's jump into it so we never get friend zoned again. What you need to realize is women are emotional creatures. They want to be taken on that emotional journey to feel a diverse range of emotions. That is how women will describe chemistry, or the butterflies that they feel when they're into a guy so much that they just can't get enough of him. This journey is what we call the emotional roller coaster. And the reason is, think about when you're on a roller coaster, especially when you're a kid, you jump on, you're so excited. It's a little bit scary, but you're strapped in, you know it's a safe environment, and you start going up. And it's suspenseful. You don't know what to expect, you're waiting. And then you have the drop. Your heart fucking beats, you're racing, you're excited, everyone's screaming around you. That is what you want the girl to feel when she's around you. You want her to really jump on and ride that emotional roller coaster. Women crave this experience so much. And if you don't believe me, think about the girls that are always starting fights with their boyfriend. Right? You'll think this girl's fucking crazy. She's like a walking red flag, but she's doing it for a reason. She wants that emotional high. She wants to get, that feeling off of it. All those girls that will admit to starting fights with their boyfriend just because the makeup sex is so fucking good. Because now there's some passion there. There's some emotion that's within it. It's not this boring, old, plain, stable, emotional experience. This is why you should never look at the experience with a girl through the lens of comfortable. If you're with a girl on a date and you're trying to take her home for a sexual experience, if you're trying to build that deeper connection with her, then don't think to yourself, hey, I need to make her more comfortable. It's not how she wants to feel. When have you ever heard a girl come back from a date where she had the best experience of her fucking life and someone said, hey, how was it? And she said, comfortable. Never. That's how she feels with a fucking grandma on a Sunday drinking tea. That's not what you want her to feel in front of you. So instead of thinking about comfort, let's think about trust. Trust is essentially that seatbelt that she's wearing on that roller coaster, that ride. And so if you start to get a little bit more sexual and you notice maybe the girl, there's some tension there, that's okay. Don't try to remove the tension. Don't take her off the roller coaster and make her sit down and watch everyone else having a good time. Don't go into these boring platonic conversations. Don't think, oh fuck, I need more comfort, so I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna act like a friend. That's not even gonna get you anywhere. So instead, keep that tension, keep the butterflies, keep the excitement, keep that feeling of a little bit unsure or nervous, I don't know what to expect, but give her trust. Because if she is worried, perhaps, and this is a genuine concern, maybe she's thinking, well, if I get back to his place and I don't wanna have sex, how is he gonna act? Is he gonna be like this butthurt, ego-driven guy that's gonna start yelling at me or get upset, which is a genuine concern? So maybe you need to build trust in that way. So instead of going to boring platonic conversation, keep it sexual. You can say, hey, I don't mind, look, you can come around. If at any point you're not feeling it, if we lose the chemistry, that's fine. I'll give you a hug, I'll say goodbye, I'll get you an Uber home. It's no stress. Or maybe you have to build trust through intentions. She might have a concern of, look, I don't want to feel used. I don't want this guy telling me, yeah, you're so nice, I want to hang out with you again, and then just like fucks me and leaves and never speaks to me again. So if that's a concern, you also need to show that through your words and behaviors. You need to actually generally tell her what your intentions are. And if you're willing to see her again, then tell her that. And I often do, I'll say like, look, there's times where I meet a girl and it's just fun, right? It's definitely, especially when I was younger, early 20s, there'll be times where, it's clear to me and the girl, this is just fun, it's a once-off, that's fine. But that's not what I see here and now, right? You're actually really cool, we have a lot of chemistry and I'd want to see you again. There's no reason I wouldn't. And so you might need to actually clear that concern. So now that we have that trust and you're not worried about comfort, how do we take her on that journey? How do we give her those emotional spikes up and down? How do we give her that excitement? Well, you don't have to be a jerk. You just have to understand her psychology. Keep her guessing. The number one thing you can do to break sexual tension at the beginning of the interaction is just being too on, is being too needy. Desire and tension comes from space. I'm sure you've heard girls that have been into a guy until he started liking her back. Or they always go for the guy that is unavailable. The thing is, we always want what we can't have. We always want what we're missing, what isn't there. So create that desire, right? Find the balance. Don't be so on. Don't message her all the time. Don't try and meet up with her every chance you can. Don't constantly tell her how much you like her. You don't want to be easy. Make her work for it a little bit. Your investment should be based on the amount of investment she's giving you. Dominance. Women love a masculine dominant presence. But if you're sitting back and trying to make her be comfortable and you're being safe, she's not seeing that side of you. And that means she isn't able to fall back, give you that trust, and explore her feminine side, that erotic space of submission. Tap into her emotions during conversations. What this means is you could add anticipation. You could say, look, hey, I've been dying to ask you this question. Something as simple as that is gonna create a little bit of curiosity. You could also, instead of just asking about facts, ask more about emotions. Why do you hate your job? Why do you love your job? And with all our routines that we give, these word-for-word scripts, we always try to add in this idea of the emotional roller coaster. And someone in the Mastermind uses this brilliantly. He lives in Miami and he meets a lot of Colombian women. And so he runs this routine where he essentially, as he's talking to the girl, he says, hey, wait, you're Colombian? The girl's like, yeah, I am. He's like, look, I gotta tell you, I hate Colombian women. And you can imagine the girl's like, what the fuck? She's a little bit confused, sometimes a bit angry. She's like, why? And they're engaged, they're there emotionally. And he says, look, I gotta tell you, Colombia, I love. The culture, the food, the weather, it's one of the most amazing places. But I always end up with Colombian women. I don't know, it's like it's my type or something. There's just like this love-hate that I have for these women. And so then it brings them back. So instead of being like, okay, I fucking hate you, they're like, oh, okay, the reason you said you hate me is because you tend to always end up with Colombian women and you actually have a thing for them and it's your type. So this does a few things. On one level, again, she felt all these emotions. She's usually last at the end of that. She gets really like giddish and it's a bit of a DHV. It's showing that he understands Colombia as well. He spent some time there. He understands these women. He's maybe had a few exes. So there's a bit of pre-selection, but it's something that's very simple. Anyone can do this. Sexual tension. Now, this is the biggest mistake I see when it comes to the emotional roller coaster. Because guys might be able to create that curiosity, maybe even the anger, maybe some jealousy, maybe some excitement, fun. What they tend to miss is sexual tension. And it's so easy. It's not a difficult skill to be able to practice and perfect. Essentially, when you're with a girl, slow your speech down a little bit. Start to make more eye contact. Sit a little bit closer. You can even add some physicality to that. You could have the most boring conversation and still have this incredible sexual tension. And we've actually tested this. David Swift, our business partner, coach at UMP, we actually thought, what is the most boring conversation we could have with a girl and keep it sexual? And he was talking to this girl in front of me about internet in the 90s, about how it used to be dial-up, how we used to have floppy CDs, but he was saying it to this girl, holding eye contact, keeping tension, having the right tonality. And this girl, I swear to God, you could see her physically just getting turned on. She couldn't help, like she started just like touching herself as he's speaking. And it's not that difficult. So you can bring emotion in, even if the conversation's boring. Guys who understand this emotional roller coaster and are able to implement it with women are incredibly rare. And that's why they're viewed as some of the most charismatic men in the world and have more options than anyone else. If you start introducing this into your interactions, this idea of the emotional roller coaster, you switch your mindset from comfort to trust, you're going to start getting the girls that you want. If you want to find out more ways to use the emotional roller coaster to tap into the girls' emotions, if you want word-for-word scripts, then join the Mastermind. There's a 2-week free trial. There's plenty of resources in there you can check out. And I'll see you guys next week. Peace.